Okay, so let me introduce you to the last confluence that we have, which is the Fibonacci. Okay, so the Fibonacci is basically one of the confluence that we will use in addition to the three we have. And for you to get the Fibonacci, you need to check here on the left hand side where you have the tools. See the Fibonacci retracement there. So once you take the Fibonacci, I think it will be on the default. So for the default Fibonacci, there are a lot of numbers. So let me try and take it to the default. So that you see. So this is how your own will look like. Okay. When you open the Fibonacci, it will look like this for the first time. Then what we have to do is to go to settings. So we can check the settings here. Click on it and go to the star. Are you watching?
Yeah.
So this is the Fibonacci settings. And what we have to do first is to change all these colors. We want to change everything to one color. So we want to use black.
Okay.
Okay. So black, everything has been turned to black. Then we also change the background. Okay. We don't want any background color, so we just remove it.
Okay.
Good. Then another thing is to look at the numbers that we have. Okay, there are so many numbers here, but we are going to use very few of them. So here we are going to uncheck these ones. All these ones, we are going to uncheck them. See, so let's do that. So just uncheck this, uncheck. Good. So these are the numbers that I use. The 618 level and the 786 level. I'll talk more about them later. Let me change the color of this. Okay, now the last thing is we want these figures to come to our right hand side. Okay, we don't want it to be at the left hand side. So what we do is we come to here, labels, and we change it to right. That it has come to the right hand side. Then desktop, we change it to middle. Yeah. The effect is that you can see the numbers, they are not aligned with this line here.
Yeah.
You have to change this to middle so that they can align. Yeah, once we do that, we are almost done with the Fibonacci settings. Now, you also want to take out this line, this diagonal line here. Click on this. Okay. Then we have our Fibonacci. Now, the Fibonacci basically measures the retracements, okay, the percentage of retracement in the market. So basically, when you have a move up like this, okay, and you know that when market already creates a high like this, you don't want to buy at this high price. Best case is for you to wait for a retracement like this before you do what you execute your buy. Is that right?
Yes, please.
Yeah. So when market is already at a high price, you don't go in for a buy. Rather, you wait for a pullback before you take the buy. Now, what happens is that when the market moves all the way from this point, let me write point A to point B. Okay, in terms of percentage, you can say this is 100% move because that is a move that we have from point A to point B. Now, when this retracement is coming, okay, and it gets to the middle of this move, you can clearly say that that is 50% of the move from A to B. Okay, when this retracement is coming and it gets to the middle, you can say that is 50% of the move from A to B. Now, that is basically what the Fibonacci is going to show us because we don't want to just use our eye to make a guesswork and say that, okay, this move from A to B, okay, and this move to the downside is 50% of A to B. we need to have a tool that is going to help us measure exactly whether this is a 50% move or it's more than that. Okay, so you can see that on the Fibonacci, we have the 50% level, which is here, but it's a level that I don't look at, so I don't have it. But for the purpose of the class, let's add the 50% level so that you see it. Good. So here we have the 50%. So what we have to do, instead of using our eye to make a guesswork to know what percentage of retracement that we have of the AB move, we need to use the Fibonacci to check. So to do it, you start measuring the Fibonacci from exactly where the move started from. So this move I'm talking about. Okay, you start from the point A, where the move started from, and you end at point B, that is where the move ended. So you go, take your Fibonacci, then you measure, okay, you click once at point A, you extend it all the way to point B, then you click again. That is how you use the Fibonacci. So point A to point B, then it's going to give you all the percentages that you have. So here is the 50% level. This is the 618%. Let's change it to percentage. Let's go to the settings of the Fibonacci again. Okay. This is what we want to do. You can see here we have levels. Under the levels, we have values. So we want to change the values to percent so that it will give us the figures in percentages. You can see that. You can see that here it has changed to percentage. So this is 50%. This is 61.8%. This is 78.6%. Okay. So when the move comes from this top all the way to this level, what retracement do we have?
50%.
Good. And when it goes here, how much?
51%.
Good. And the last point is how much?
78%.
Good. So that is how you use Fibonacci as a confluence. Now, in using the Fibonacci, the levels that I mostly look at are the 618 level and the 786 level. Those are the areas that I look at for my execution. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, the 618 in Forex is what we call the golden ratio. That is what a lot of traders look at for their execution. So we call it as the golden ratio. Now, what you need to know is that you cannot use the Fibonacci in isolation. You still need confirmation, okay? But it will guide you so that you don't go and execute a trade when the market has only retraced this much. Okay, if your rule is telling you that retracement must come to 618 level or the 786 level, you will not even trade when the market is hanging here because it hasn't come to the 618 level.
Okay.
So you always have to wait for the market to come all the way to your level before you would even think of executing the trade. So what we're going to do is, this is for the buy side. Let's look at how you do it on the sell side. For the market to sell, it has to move from top to down. So it moves from point A to point B. So here is A and then B, right? Now, what happens is that after a down move like this, we expect the market to make a retracement from point B to the upside. Now, for you to draw the Fibonacci, you always start from point A to point B. So you take your Fibonacci, you start drawing from the point A and extend it all the way down to point B. So you are always going to have two clicks. You start from point A, you click once, you extend the mouse all the way to point B, you click again. Then you see the Fibonacci drawing here.
Okay. Good.
Now, once you have the Fibonacci and the retracement starts coming, you will really see that the moment it gets to this point, that is 50%.
Okay.
When it extends its move to this point, that is 618%.
Mm-hmm.
And the last percentage level we look at is the 78. But what if it goes all the way to this level? How many percent do we have?
100.
Good, 100%. It basically tells you that the buyers have moved an equal distance, just as what the sellers did previously. And mostly when that happens, the market is likely to kind of give us a reversal, because when it goes 100, at least they both have the same power now.
Okay.
So most likely the buyers will take over, and then we have a reversal.
Okay.
But like I said, the levels that we look at on Fibonacci are the 618 level and the 786 level.
Okay.
Those are the levels that we look at. And again, remember, we are not going to use Fibonacci in isolation. We are going to use it with our other confluences. Now, a typical example. Let's say we have market here. After this, then we go to the actual market to see how we can apply it. Market is pushing down. Now you can see that this is clearly giving us a break and retest pattern, right?
Mm-hmm.
So this will become our zone. And then we will be waiting for the market to make a pullback so that we can take a sell. Is that right?
Yes, please.
Good. So this is the zone. So our key level is already clear now. The next thing we can look at is, okay, at this level, do we have a psychological figure? So you check. Let's say we have one. Good. Then now you can also apply the Fibonacci to see whether we have one of the levels that we look at, we have it at the same area as the psychological level and the key level. To draw the Fibonacci, you always start from point A, which is where the down move started, to point B, which is where it ended. So here, this is where it started from. Here, point A, this point A to point B. Okay. Any move comes with a retracement. So this one, this is the point A, and this is the point B. Again here, this is the point A, and then point B, and the final one that we have here. So what we're gonna do is to use the Fibonacci, starting from this point. So let's apply. Take our Fibonacci, start from point A, and go all the way down to point B, like this. Now we have the levels. We have the Fibonacci levels. This is the 50%, this is 618, and this is 786. Now, among all these levels, which one is close to our key level?
Yes, everyone. 78.
Good. So that is the level that we are going to target for the market to come. It's in line with the key level. We also have a psychological level, and that is the confluence we are talking about.
Mm-hmm.
Confluence basically means you having two or three things aligning or agreeing at the same place. So key level, psychological level, Fibonacci. Okay. What next confluence can we add?
Trend line.
Good, trend line. So if you find a trend line somewhere which is also aligning here, that is even going to give you more confidence, because I've told you confluence, okay, equals confidence. All right.
Yeah.
So your confluence will give you the confidence that you want. So let's try to use the Fibonacci. Like I said, we are using it to determine the retracements in the market or the pullbacks. So mostly we use it when market is what? Trending in one direction. Let's say the market is going down, then we can use the Fibonacci to track all these pullbacks. Okay. And if the market is going up, we can again use the Fibonacci to track all these pullbacks. So mostly we use it in trending markets. So here we have this trending market. Okay. like you always know, the markets on paper is not exactly what you are going to see in the real market. Okay, so here you have to be able to train your eye to identify a trending market like this. It is trending. Okay, so all these are pullbacks that we can use the Fibonacci to what? Determine how much retracement that they made. So starting from the last one, starting from this is point A, this is point B. So we draw our Fibonacci from this point, we extend it down all the way to this point. Notice how I am putting it on the wick. You see?
Yes, please.
Good. Now, what are the levels that we are looking at? We are looking at the 618 and the 786. Then you ask yourself, for this break and retest, where is our zone? Okay, the key level is here. Am I right?
Exactly.
Good. So which Fibonacci figure is within our key level
78.
or close to our key level?
78.
Good. So it means that the level that we are going to target will be the 78 level. That will be our premium level as compared to the 618, because the 78 is in confluence with the key level.
Okay.
That is how you are going to use Fibonacci. Now let's do this one, the previous one, starting from point A to point B. So you take your Fibonacci, you draw from the wick all the way to the last wick. Are you okay with this one?
No. You see, buy candle no so. Isn't it supposed to be on the red candle since it is selling?
Which red candle?
I'm
When you
saying
are
the
drawing Fibonacci, you draw from point A like this, where the move started to where the move ended. Obviously, where the move will end, you will start seeing a buy there. Okay, because the buy is what is going to give you the pullback.
Okay.
So you will put it on that candle. Okay, that is the last wick. So here you have to put it from the first wick. That is where the sell started from, all the way to the last wick. That is where the the sell ended.
Okay.
So you put it here, all the way here. And you see how I'm extending it to my right so that I can have a clear space.
Yeah.
So now we expect the pullback to go all the way to some of these levels, the 618 or the 786.
Okay.
Now in this scenario, you can clearly see that both the 618 and the 786, they are all within the key level. So we can mark both as a potential area to execute a trade.
Okay.
Good. So in this case, we will be using both 618 and 786 to execute. But the thing is that the pullback did not come to the level that we expect. So this trade, we would have left it.
Okay.
Because it does not satisfy our rule.
Okay.
Is that right?
Okay.
Good. Now we look at the third one here. The market made a down move here. So we draw from point A here to point B here. Is that right? Then what happens is that we start using the Fibonacci from this point all the way to this point like this. Okay?
Yeah.
And our target is going to be on the 618 and then the 786. Those are the two levels that we are going to look at. And if you want to find confluence, then we can say that it is in line with our key level. Another confluence you can use will be the psychological figure, but our focus today is on Fibonacci.
Okay.
Now, what happened is that the market came to the levels that we want exactly. That is the 618 and the 786. So anywhere between the 618 and the 786, we can execute a sell.
Okay.
Good. So that is how you can apply Fibonacci in your trading as a confluence. In our next class, we are going to do more examples on the chart and also combine it with the other confluences that we have done.
Okay.
But if you have any question on what we've done so far, the Fibonacci, the settings, how to draw it, how to get the levels, if you have any question, just ask me so that I can see the best way to answer.
So should the retracement land on the 618? Because you said it's between. So if we should land exactly on the 618, is it a time to enter for a sell?
Yes. Once the 618 is also in line with the key level. Okay, so you look at which one is in line with the key level. If the 618 is also in line, then you can execute a trade on the 618, obviously.
Okay.
Yes, you can execute a trade.
Okay.
But remember that we don't just execute a trade. We look for confirmation before we execute. Even with the confluence, we still look for confirmation before execution.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
The idea of Fibonacci is to give you a specific area that you'll be looking for the entry.
Okay.
Good. So any more questions?
So far, I think it's so good.